there's a comment here. My belief is it comes from what people choose to find entertaining. The illusion creates your reality. Um, yes.
I agree. I agree. You being who you want to be is who you want to be. What anybody else's opinion is about that doesn't matter. It's like what you think yourself to be. But if you're trying to force that on everybody you're trying to force everybody to be like minded as you in those certain situations. That's kind of like, nah. You feel like you're a man, you're a man. You feel like you're a woman, you're a woman. But yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I need a pity parade or you need a pity parade for that. I mean, like, do what makes you happy. But at the same point in time, if you're a woman and you look like a man and you trying to be a man, all right, cool. But then I'm a he, she, sir pronoun. Now you're just basically splitting hairs. There is no in between. You either are one way or you are another. I mean, but to say that you're a man and you become a woman and you're like, oh, I'm a woman, I'm like, that kind of takes away from the woman because to be a woman is so much work involved in that. And so, yeah, I cheers up to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then Can't Touch Too also said insecurities and becoming addicted. And I think a lot of it, I think a lot of what we're experiencing are coming from a place of insecurity. And instead of addressing the insecurity, we're choosing to chop it up and do all of these like microwave solutions to it instead of actually getting to the root of what is the problem? How did we get here? Because the reality is, if my child came to me and said, I feel like I'm a girl, my first response wouldn't be, all right, let's go chop off your penis. No, it would be, okay, help me to understand you. What makes you feel like you're meant to be a girl? What does that look like? What does that feel like? You know, because as a parent, I want to understand my child. I'm not just going to placate them by doing whatever society tells us we're supposed to be doing, which I think is a lot of the issue with the whole transitioning thing now, is because, and I think we talked about this last episode, we get on social media and we find this community of like-minded people, and this community of like-minded people, well, they're all chopping off their body parts, so maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But that's not, for me, I just feel like that's not the greatest solution. But again, my personal opinion.
Yeah. I like I said, we all have our different points of views on it. So that was us addressing these topics at hand right about now. So were we? What were other stuff that we didn't touch bases on that we needed to touch bases on?
Are we done with the comments? Okay, wait. Talked about being homophobic. Yep. Talked about. Okay, hold on. There's another one. Talking about how is it a privilege? That's such a stupid take. It's the exact opposite. They're going to be oppressed for this identity. They did not choose to have it. Um, yeah, no, I don't agree with that, because the, like, you saying that you identify as something that you're not is a definition of a choice. Like, that's a
Yeah,
choice.
that's not oppression. I'm sorry.
Right.
There's nothing oppressing about that. It's how you feel. We have
Right.
no control on how you feel, but what you want us to do is to basically coddle to that notion. How you feel is how you feel, but let's be honest. While this world needs to be loving and caring, this world has never given an F about anybody's feelings. So while it seems like you want that special treatment that the rest of us are not even privy to ourselves, of feeling like, oh, I'm a woman, but I was born a man. Okay, that's good for you. So all right, you do you, whatever makes you happy. Oh, well, I just don't think you respect my feelings. It's not paying my bills. Like what you do on your side and your spectrum in your house is your business. It doesn't affect anybody. For you to make this a global issue, like, well, no. The big problem is when it becomes an issue is when you are a man and you become a woman and you want to play women's sports. Now that's a
Well,
problem. That's not fair.
that's
That's
and
not,
that's
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 not
our
fair.
next question. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so when you say your feelings, all right, cool. If you're a man and you want to become a woman, all right, cool. All right, cool. Sign up for that. Do that. Don't become a man becoming a woman and trying to play women's sports. That's no. Don't become a man trying to say, oh, like, no, I'm not even going to front. You can't become a woman because you cannot give birth. Let's, there's separations for that. So we're not, while while our opinions is completely different, but facts are facts. You can't not give birth. Your hormones are completely different. For you to say you're a woman and you're born a man and then you want to go out here and compete in women's sports and be treated fairly, that
Right.
doesn't make any sense. Now you're just no, because there's no woman transferring to a man trying to say I want to play in the NFL or the
Well,
NBA.
and
Let
that's the
me
crazy
play.
thing because when
Let
you
me
ask
play.
people about this, when you ask people like, why is it that women aren't trying to play men's sports? And they have 5,000 reasons as to why women aren't doing it. But the reality is that and I will speak for myself, I have played soccer. I grew up playing soccer. I'm not a world class Olympic soccer player, but I'm pretty adept at playing soccer, right? If you were to tell me to play with men, I would get demolished. And mind you, when I played with women, I was very aggressive. Like I got red cards for a period in time, like every game. Okay, so I feel like I could hold my own, right? But I remember in college, I played intramural soccer with males and females, and I got the snot knocked out of me multiple times by men. And I was just like, yeah, okay, not for me, not for me. But that's the thing. Like, people are saying, oh, well, we have all these other reasons why they just don't want you to. No, it's because we are not built the same. Yes, there are some women who are bigger and, burlier. Yes, there are. There are some women who have higher testosterone. Yes, there are. But the majority of women do not fit into that category. The majority of women cannot hold their own. I was watching this video of Venus and Serena Williams, and they challenged any tennis player to play against them. Venus and Serena Williams, mind you, they're up there, right? They challenged any male tennis player to play against them and did not have to be a top rated. It was some nobody nameless guy, and they beat the snot out of both of them. And both of them went on TV talking about, I wish I had the clip. Somebody go find it. Both of them went on TV talking about how hard it was and how they would never do it again. And mind you, I'm just going to be honest. Venus and Serena Williams are not the most feminine women in the world. So for them to play against somebody who's not even on their professional level, somebody beneath their professional level and still get whooped up on, you can't tell me that there isn't a physiological difference between the majority of males and females. You cannot. You just can't.
And like Jordan has a valid point on that. So when we talk about accepting people for wanting to be trans and all of that, it's like, remember, all good things start off good, and then certain people come into the light and they pervert it and they take advantage of it and they turn it into they use it for nefarious reasons or whatever. For you to be like, oh, accept me for my identity crisis and care about your identity crisis, meanwhile that there are children who look like me and Jordan, ages ranging from 4 to 5 and all the way up, are still getting shot by the police when they're even calling them for help. So there's plenty of news article about that in America. You can just point any state you want.
Mm.
So while you are caring so heavily about your identity of what you are, what you clearly are physically not, people are actually having real issues of trying to stay alive. So again, where I say it's privileged, because it's privilege. You want people to care about how you think of yourself. It's
Mm.
called self-love. If you care about what everybody thinks about you, then okay, fine. Drag queens are drag queens. These are men that dress up as women for show. They like it, whether they like women or whether they like men, that's their business. They're not making that full transition into being women, but they like dressing up like women. They like putting on makeup, and they are proud of who they are.
And
Be
there's
that
nothing wrong with that.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Be that person. Be confident in who you are. Nobody else needs to matter. But if you're out